We may never understand the mindset or motives of Stephen Platel, but we do know that his actions have shattered the lives of countless, according to the officer working on the incest murder case. This is the story of Katie Platel, who decided to reunite with her biological parents. However, this young girl didn't know that it was going to be the worst decision of her life. The story of Stephen and Katie isn't the normal father-daughter story, but in fact, one of the most disturbing ones in recent years. This is a story of terror. Alright guys, welcome back to another terrible video on my tragic channel. Today, we're going to be talking about the incest murder case. This is definitely one of the most messed up cases I think I've ever read. I think any of you guys that watch this video in its entirety will agree. Maybe you've heard about this case, maybe you haven't, but regardless, I'm sure your thoughts are going to be somewhat similar once we get to the end. Now guys, before we begin, I need to ask you a favor. My last video that I made, you guys loved it, and judging from the comments, the like to view ratio, it was very well received. You guys were very, accepting of it. You loved the new format, and I was overall very happy. But YouTube, on the other hand, was not very happy because they completely suppressed and buried that video from most of you guys and new people. Delta, pull up the file. What was the percentages of subbed versus non-subbed viewers watching?
Subscribed users were 98.1%, while not subscribed users were 1.9%.
I have never had a video where new people watching were comprised of 1.9%, not even 2%. That's literally like less than 1% click-through ratio, which I know I didn't have because I literally could check that in my analytics and tell me otherwise. Typically, the amount of non-subscribed people that watch my videos are between 40 to 60%. So for this to be less than 2%, I know that YouTube screwed up something. I don't know if it's going to be a recurring thing. I hope it's just a glitch in the matrix. It's just a one-time kind of thing. It's not going to perpetually affect my channel. But guys, that's why I need to ask you a favor. Please engage with this video. Hit the like button, okay? Write a comment down below related to the video, okay? Not some random crap about subscribing to your SoundCloud. From what I hear, that's the best thing you can do to kind of like help a video perform a little bit better. And guys, trust me when I say this, I think we need it now more than ever. Okay, that is enough dilly-dallying for now. Let's get into the video. It was the year 1995 when 20-year-old Stephen Platel met 15-year-old Alyssa Garcia on the internet. The two quickly started dating, and Stephen traveled from New York to Texas in order to meet his new young girlfriend. Although Alyssa was still a child at the time, their parents didn't stop them from dating, and soon after, Alyssa was pregnant with Stephen's baby. In January 1998, Alyssa gave birth to a baby girl. Alyssa was still 17 years old when the pair welcomed their daughter. The baby girl was named Denise, and unlike most children, her childhood was nothing short of a nightmare. Her young mother Alyssa claimed that Stephen was abusive towards their infant daughter, and according to her, Stephen would pinch Denise until her skin was left black and blue. Among other things, she even recalls Stephen leaving baby Denise inside a cooler for long periods of time. Despite all of this, Alyssa still stayed with Stephen, and the pair ended up marrying. However, their financial situation left them poor, and on top of the way that Stephen treated Denise, Alyssa made the difficult choice to put her up for adoption when she was just 8 months old. In an interview, Alyssa said, "It was so hard to give her up, but I wanted her to live and be happy." Wow, what an intro if I do say so myself. And this Stephen guy, what is he going for, Father of the Year? It's bad enough that this dude's like 20 going after 15-year-olds, but the fact that he gets her pregnant at 17, the parents just allow it, and on top of that, dude, he is not treating the baby very nicely, okay? But guys, it only gets worse. Soon, a loving couple decided to adopt Denise. That couple was Anthony and Kelly Fusco, and shortly after the adoption, they renamed Denise to Katie. All the way back in Dutchess County, New York, Katie would start a new life with her adoptive parents. Kelly Fusco's brother, Kerry Gould, said in an interview about the new family, "They had a very normal life. My nickname for Katie was Pac-Man. She was always eating. She loved animals. She was a vegetarian." Katie was an aspiring artist known at Dover High School for drawing comic strips. She planned to attend college and pursue a career in digital advertising. In one of her blog posts, she wrote, "A pen and something to draw on became a safe place for me. Ink became my weapon against rules and regulations. To be short, for me, a life without art is no life at all." According to Carrie, Katie already knew that she was adopted, meaning she was already aware that her real parents were out there. Somewhere. Meanwhile, her biological parents, Alyssa and Steven, welcomed a new baby girl in 2007, nearly 10 years after giving Katie up for adoption. And then, several more years later in 2012, the family welcomed another daughter. According to Alyssa, she felt that they were older now and more mature, and therefore capable of raising kids now. But despite their older age, Steven was still showing signs of aggression. Unable to hold down jobs, and often taking his anger out around the house, Steven would punch holes in the walls and often break things. I think it's pretty evident here that Steven is just spiraling out of control. He's on a dark path. He's only gotten worse, and it's only gonna get worse. He needs to be stopped. And unfortunately, this is exactly when Katie ends up meeting Steven. It was January 18, 2016, when Katie celebrated her 18th birthday. She became curious about her biological parents and started tracking them down. She even found Steven and Alyssa on social media. The young Katie messaged her biological parents, who were happy to reunite with her. Although Katie had previously planned to enroll in the local community college after her graduation, she moved in with her parents in Henrico County, in Virginia, to get to know them better. Katie's adoptive parents, Tony and Kelly, were apprehensive about Katie moving in with her biological parents, but they thought that she was old enough to make her own decisions. I'm not sure about that one, but okay. And although Alyssa and Steven happily welcomed her into their house, things weren't going that great for the couple. In fact, Steven and Alyssa were already sleeping in separate beds for months before Katie arrived. Alyssa was quoted saying in an interview, "I was always on eggshells. Whatever his mood was, everybody knew, and that mood was often not happy. A lot of yelling, a lot of things smashed in the house, in front of the kids." Alright, now this is where we get to the truly terrible parts. Steven, after meeting his daughter, starts to change his personality, almost as if he's trying to impress her. It's very creepy, it's very strange, and it only further shows that Steven should have never had kids. After Steven met his daughter Katie, his behavior began to change. He started wearing skinny jeans and form-fitting shirts. It appeared as though he wanted to impress a girl, but that girl, as you'll come to see, was his own daughter. According to various reports, Steven even shaved his beard and let his hair grow long in order to make his appearance more youthful. Oh, I think I'm gonna be sick. Okay, first of all, this dude is like 40 years old, his daughter's like 18 years old, and it's his daughter, okay? Need I say more? Okay, I'm sorry. Let's continue. Alyssa, who was concerned, felt the need to tell Katie that Steven had abused her when she was an infant. However, Katie didn't appear to care, and nearly 6 weeks later, Alyssa was shocked when Steven started sleeping on the floor in Katie's room. Alyssa immediately confronted her husband about it. In response, Steven yelled and said it was none of her business. Steven eventually stormed out of the house. Katie moved in with her biological parents in August of 2016, and by November 2016, things had taken a serious turn. Alyssa moved out of the house and filed for a divorce from Steven. The two younger daughters stayed with Alyssa, while Katie and Steven were left to continue living in the house together. Seriously? All the signs are there, okay? Like, they're all there, I'm just saying. I don't think there's necessarily any hero in this story yet, because everybody's making mistakes. Like, everybody. During this, Alyssa had only a suspicion about Steven and Katie's relationship. However, she had no idea how far it had already gone until May 2017. It was here that she found out about their incestuous relationship, as well as Katie's pregnancy. She learned all of this from her 11-year-old daughter's journal. in which she wrote that Stephen told her and her sister to refer to Katie as their stepmother. The young girl wrote, "Katie is pregnant. Dad says they feel like couples. Did they get a little too drunk last night? My dad is he's Satan. He'll go to hell, but he won't be the one getting tortured. He'll be the one torturing people." She also drew pictures of Stephen and Katie, showing them as demons. Wait 1 second. If he's Satan and Katie is a human, then the baby will be half demon, she added. Upon reading this, Alyssa stated, "I started to become hysterical. I called him. I said, 'Is Katie pregnant with your baby?' He just said, 'I thought you knew. We're in love.' I started screaming. I was just cursing him out. 'How could you? You're sick. She's a child.'" And that is where we've come to so far. Thoughts, questions, concerns, complaints, guys? I don't know about you, but these journal entries from this 11-year-old girl, oh my. If that doesn't tell you how much is wrong with this picture, then I don't know what else will. I'm shocked. I'm horrified. I'm a little tired of these people. How about you? How are you guys doing? All right, well, I just thought I'd ask. Upon learning all of this, Alyssa then decided to call the police. Stephen and Alyssa's children were then interviewed by the police. However, no arrest was made. At the same time, Stephen's divorce from Alyssa was finalized. He was free to marry anyone, but that anyone was his own daughter. On July 20th, 2017, Stephen and Katie illegally got married. They lied on their application that they were unrelated, but the most shocking part is that along with Stephen's mother, Katie's adoptive parents, Tony and Kelly Fusco, also attended the wedding ceremony. To them, they believed that there was nothing they could do and felt it was best to support Katie in her decision. I'm sorry, but what? Like I said, there are no heroes in this story. Everybody is making mistakes. How can you be parents of this girl you adopted and you let her marry her biological father? What? Oh, and also one other detail that's probably important is that Katie was pregnant already before the wedding. You can clearly see in the photos, aside from her terrible adoptive parents standing there supporting her, that she is also due for a baby. Soon after, Katie gave birth to her father's baby boy. They named him Bennett. They moved to a house in a cul-de-sac in North Carolina. However, the happy times didn't last long, and the couple was soon arrested on incest charges in January 2018. Although they were released on bond, officials ordered them to have no contact with one another. The custody of their child was granted to Stephen's mother, and Katie moved back with her adoptive parents, Tony and Kelly Fusco. Stephen's lawyer stated that his client never pressured Katie into a romantic relationship. He was quoted saying, "This case is an 18-year-old who shows up at the doorstep of a 40-year-old man who's going through a difficult time with his wife. They have a bond because they're biologically related, but they never knew each other before they had a sexual relationship. He was head over heels in love with her, so much that it outweighed the issue of them being biologically related." Okay, so that was from Mr. Stephen's lawyer? Yeah, that was the worst defense I think I've ever heard. Everybody on this planet is now dumber after having heard that. There is no excuse for behavior like this, and I don't want anybody in the comments trying to be like, "Oh, just if they like each other, just let them be together." No, okay? This is not like one of those things where we need to normalize it and we need to accept it, okay? No, this is not acceptable, okay? Never. This is messed up, and it's always going to be messed up, okay? It's never going to be normalized, okay? This is never going to be acceptable to do. So I don't want to hear anyone in the comments defending this type of behavior, okay? This is sick. You're sick if you defend it. If you don't, then you guys are cool. Okay, back to it. After getting in trouble with the authorities and realizing her life was crashing down in front of her, Katie wanted to end the relationship with her biological father and start a new life, so she called Stephen and broke up with him. However, she didn't know that Stephen would become so angry that he would decide to end it all. Katie used to visit her adoptive grandmother's house every Tuesday and Thursday. On April 12, 2018, Stephen knew that Katie would visit her grandmother's house. Katie's adoptive father, Tony, offered to give Katie a ride, and as they left the house together, Stephen watched them from his minivan nearby. He followed them down the street for several blocks, Until finally, once they got to a stop, Stephen fired upon both of them with his gun, killing them both. A witness in a nearby car quickly called the police and informed them of Stephen's description. When the police arrived, they were able to track down Stephen's minivan, but they were not able to arrest him, for he had already decided he wasn't planning on going to jail. Stephen was found dead with a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Now, aside from Stephen wreaking all this havoc upon himself, Katie, Tony Fusco, he also ended the life of his and Katie's son, Bennett. The baby was supposed to be staying with Stephen's mother, which he was, but apparently Stephen went over there and ended his life before leaving to go on his rampage. So he actually did that first before he went to Katie's and tracked them down and did all that. Last thing I want to add in is just one little excerpt from Alyssa, the mother of Katie. She said in an interview, "I'm grieving, I'm sad, I'm upset, but I also want to have something good come out of this. If it's to get the truth out there, to open people's eyes to incest." I mean, I think we all know at this point that incest bad, but I just can't imagine what she must be going through, what any of her family members are going through. This whole story was just a roller coaster, and it was just terrible. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed this video, like I said, please leave a thumbs up, write something in the comments related to the video. Let's get the YouTube algorithm to actually notice us this time and not suppress us, hopefully. I really want to continue to make more content like this for you guys, but I won't be able to do it if YouTube is constantly on our asses about it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, I will see you guys in the next video. Good night.